Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. So today we will be starting a new topic. We'll be learning about different types of changes. Okay. So what are changes? What do you understand by the word changes? Anybody who wants to answer? What are changes? What do you mean by changes? Samit, what do you mean by changes?
Change is when something becomes another thing.
Okay, when something becomes another thing. Okay, that means it changes. What like in what terms does it change? It becomes other thing is okay, but in what terms?
In physical or chemical.
What do you understand by physical or chemical?
So physical change means that the how it looks has changed, but chemical composition has not changed. But
Hmm.
chemical change is when the chemical composition of that thing changes.
Okay, so are there only two types of changes, and which, what kind of items undergo changes?
Ma'am, all types.
All items, living, non-living, everything undergoes changes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we say that all the matter around us undergoes changes. Okay, and changes are of many, many types. So, out of the other types, we will be studying chemical and physical changes in today's class. Okay, now matter, we all know that matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Okay, so any matter, uh, whether it is a living matter or a non-living matter, both undergo changes over a period of time. Okay, and this change is not confined only, only to the planet Earth. Even outside the Earth, even in the solar system, in the space, there are changes happening every second, every instant of time. There is some change going on. Okay. Now, what are changes? By changes, we mean that the appearance of any object is changing. That means the change can be a change in color, change in shape, change in size, or change in smell, change in taste. It can be any kind of change. Or one item may undergo a type of change wherein it kind of transforms into something else. Okay, so changes can be of many, many types. So before starting to understand physical and chemical change, can you all think of different types of changes and name them? Each one of you can give me one type of change with an example.
Ma'am, burning of paper is a chemical change.
Yeah, but then I don't want to know like physical and chemical changes. Yes, we are going to learn about them. Apart from physical and chemical changes, what are the other types of changes?
Ma'am, changes in taste, changes in smell, changes in texture.
Yeah, so all of that are, the characteristics, some things which happen in physical and chemical change. Have you all heard of reversible and irreversible changes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you all heard of slow changes and fast changes?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes,
Have you
ma'am.
heard of periodic and non-periodic changes?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. No, miss. No,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay, so give me one example of a reversible change and one example of an irreversible change.
Ma'am, reversible change is of water to ice, as
Okay.
we can again change ice into water, and
Okay.
irreversible change is of um, uh, paper turning into ash by burning.
Okay. Very good. Okay. Now, another person give me an example of a slow change and a fast change. I'm sorry. A slow change and a fast change. Yes, come on.
Ma'am, burning of paper is fast change.
Yeah. Then what is a slow change?
Slow change is
Anybody can think of any example?
planting trees, like
Yes.
growth trees.
Yeah. So a tree, like growing a seed into a tree. That's a slow change. Okay. A child grows up into an adult. That's a slow change. Okay. Okay. Give me examples of periodic and non-periodic changes.
Ma'am, periodic change is the ticking of clock.
Ticking of clock. But
Ma'am,
okay, that is still a periodic change. Anything else?
Ma'am,
Yeah.
what does periodic and non-periodic changes mean?
See, periodic means something which happens after a fixed interval of time. Okay. For example, you
Night
all
and
know
day.
night and day, or the tides which you see in the sea and ocean. The tides happen only when there's a full moon or a new moon. So that is a periodic change. It happens periodically after every 15 days, it happens. Okay. Non-periodic change can be something which can happen anytime, like a volcanic eruption or an earthquake. It can happen anytime. Nobody can predict when it can happen depending on the time. So we can't say that 19th September in 2019 we had an earthquake in Pune, and 2020 19th September again we are going to get an earthquake. No, that's not how it works, right? So it's non-periodic. We cannot predict it. Okay? So periodic means something which happens at equal intervals of time, and non-periodic which happens at random instances. Okay. So these are a few types of changes. So today what we are going to study is physical change and chemical change. Now all the different types of changes that we spoke about right now, like slow, fast, reversible, irreversible, everything on a broader level falls under physical and chemical changes only. Okay, how we will see that. So what is a physical change? What do you understand by physical property of any matter? Say physical property of water. What do you understand by physical property?
It's like how
It's liquid.
sticky or how
Ma'am,
it
it's
how
appearance.
stretchy or how thick something is. It's like the physical how it looks and how
Ma'am,
it
How it looks,
appearance.
right? What is its color?
Ma'am,
And is it
appearance.
liquid or solid? Right?
texture.
Its texture, okay? The volume, shape, size, everything, okay? So all that form the physical property, which you can, see, which you can feel. That is the physical property of that matter, okay? Now, whenever there is a change in any of the physical property, let's say, for example, you have water, a glass of water, and you add a few drops of ink into it, red color into it. Okay. So, what happens? Water, which was transparent before, has changed color to red. Now, is that a change in physical property? Yes, it is, right? The color
Yes.
has changed. Okay. Now, color has changed due to addition of something. So now adding something into water is a physical change. Now it can be anything. It can be adding salt, adding lime juice, adding orange juice, sugar, anything. So whenever you dissolve something in water, that's a physical change. Okay. Now tell me that you have water and you freeze it into ice. Is that a physical change or a chemical change?
Ma'am,
Chemical.
physical
It's a
change.
physical change.
It's a physical change. Why? Why is it physical? The state is changing from liquid, it is becoming solid. Then
Yes,
how
ma'am.
is it a physical?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
its chemical composition
composition
is
is
not
not
being
changing.
changed.
From like a liquid state to a it just hardened itself into a solidified state.
Yes.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
The
the chemical
yes,
composition does not change.
yes,
yes.
ma'am. Exactly, ma'am.
The
Ma'am,
chemical
because there's no change
composition,
in composition.
correct. So water is H2O in liquid state, and water in the ice state is also H2O. It is not becoming H2O2 or it is not becoming HO. There's no change in the chemical composition. It is just becoming from liquid to solid. Okay. Or for that matter, when you heat water from a liquid, it becomes gas. It turns into water vapor. So change, and in every case, depending upon whether it's in the liquid state or a solid state or a gaseous state, the shape will change because that is the property of matter, right? That the shape will be depending upon what state the matter is in. Okay. Now, one glass of water will appear cylindrical, but a cube of ice will appear like a cuboid, right? A cube. And water vapors, there's no shape. So any change which causes a change in shape is a physical change. Okay. Now, if you take 100 ml water, okay, that's the volume. 100 ml water in a glass. Now, same quantity of water, if you take it in a plate, is there change in size?
No.
By appearance, yes, it appears as if there is
Ma'am.
change, but the volume is the same. But will it change? Will the volume change when we freeze that 100 ml water?
No, ma'am.
It will not change.
Ma'am, it will change.
It will change, right? The volume. See, we all know that there is an expansion which takes place or contraction which takes place whenever we heat or cool anything. Okay. So the volume will slightly change whenever there is a change in state. Okay? So that means that change in volume is also a physical change. Now, tell me, if you take a cube of ice and you put it on in a glass of water, will the ice float or will it sink?
Float?
Will it float? You sure? Why will it float?
Ma'am, because its density is
Its density is less than that of the water. Okay. But still, even if the ice is less denser than water, it is still a type of water. It is a different state of water. Okay. So change in color, change in shape, change in volume, change in density. All of these are physical changes. Okay. Is physical change understood to everyone? Now let's see. There are a few examples given here. The first example is crushing a can. Okay. Even after we crush the can is still can. It is, for example, if it is made of tin, okay, it is still tin. After crushing, it does not become any other metal. Okay, it is still tin. So crushing a can is a physical change. Now ice cube, boiling of water, both of these we already discussed. Mixing sand with water. Are we making anything new? Sand is a separate thing, water is a separate thing. We are just physically mixing them. Okay. So that is also a physical change. Okay. When we break the glass, when we break the glass, from a piece of rectangular glass, it is changing its shape to various small pieces of glass, but still it is glass. Okay, so breaking of glass is also a physical change. Same way, shredding of paper, that is when you tear paper into pieces. Okay, the paper will still remain paper, it will not lose its property. So if you take a bigger piece of paper and you burn it, or you take a smaller piece of paper, you burn it, in both cases, the smell while burning, the color of the ash, everything will remain the same. Okay, so paper is not losing its property by while we tear it. So that is also a physical change. Okay. Uh, Sublimation of dry ice. What is dry ice?
Ma'am, it is carbon dioxide ice, which contains carbon dioxide.
Yeah,
And
solid. It is solid form of carbon dioxide. Okay, dry ice is solid carbon dioxide. What do you mean by sublimation?
Ma'am, sublimation is the change directly from a solid state to a vapor state.
Solid to a vapor state. Can you give me some examples of
Ma'am,
products which are sublime?
ma'am, naphthalene balls.
Camphor naphthalene balls, very good. Okay, so the sublimation of dry ice is like water changing into vapor or water changing into ice. So all of these are physical changes. For that matter, uh, when you make lemon juice, you add water, you add salt, you add sugar, you add lemon. Okay, you are adding all of it, but each one of the flavors you can still taste. When you have the lemon juice, you can taste the sweetness of the sugar, you can taste the sourness of the lemon, and water is a solvent in that case. Okay, so even a lemon juice or any juice for that matter is a physical change, it is not a chemical change. Is this clear? You all understood what is physical change?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now let's see what are chemical changes. Now, what do you understand by chemical properties?
Chemical properties is its change in its structures, change in its
Structure as in shape,
composition. It is a change
composition.
in its chemical property. Uh,
What is a chemical property? What do you mean by chemical property?
Means it's chemical. If it is a paper, we use it to write. Um, but when we burn it, then it becomes ashes.
So that is the use. You are telling me the use of it. But how is it changing? Like, I want to first understand what is a chemical property. What do you mean by chemical property?
Chemical property is a property which have a particular thing. If we say H2O, then the property of it is like hydrogen molecules and oxygen molecules. If we separate them, then it would be oxygen and hydrogen molecules. So that
Can you give another
that
example?
chemical changes occur.
Ma'am,
The
Yes.
change from one particular element to another.
Okay.
ma'am, if you see, like, there's an iron nail, and
Hmm.
when it is exposed to moisture,
Hmm.
it gets rusted. So
Okay.
iron nail is iron is a metal, and when it gets rusted, it changes its property. Like, it changes into another. There's a coating on it, which is another kind of uh, you know which is
So a
another.
new compound is formed. Okay.
Yes,
There
ma'am.
is a new compound. So what happens is,
yes,
let's
even the
take,
acidic salt and the basic salt and everything, that's also chemical change, what we learned with the acid and basic salt.
yes. Okay. Now let me give you one simple example. Okay. Now let's take the example of water. water is made up of two elements, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. Now tell me, what is the most important property of oxygen? Do we smell it?
No, ma'am.
No. Can
Ma'am,
we
we
see
take
it?
in the air. Ma'am, we take in the air, and it is used as an energy ATP.
Okay, that's how we use it. But can we see oxygen? Can we feel it? No, we cannot, right? So its physical properties are that it is invisible. Okay, it is odorless. It is colorless. Okay, but chemically, what are its properties? Yes, our cells use the oxygen and the glucose to generate ATPs. That's correct. Any physical property of oxygen? Any chemical property of oxygen that you can think of?
It bonds with hydrogen. I mean, it
No,
bonds
that's
with.
a reaction. That's a reaction that it is doing. Individually, when it is as an element oxygen, what is its chemical property? The most common one.
Ma'am, it can be broken down.
No. Oxygen supports burning, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Oxygen helps in burning. We cannot burn anything without oxygen's presence. Okay.
It has
Now
carbon.
that's a chemical property of oxygen. Now oxygen is undergoing a chemical change while it reacts with hydrogen. Okay. One oxygen atom reacts with two atoms of hydrogen to form water molecule. Right. Now this water molecule has oxygen in it, right? But oxygen has undergone a chemical change in order for the water molecule to be prepared. Now, this water molecule's chemical property will be very different than that of the original oxygen molecule, right? So, will water support burning? No, it does not.
No, ma'am.
If there is water, then burning cannot take place. Okay, although the water molecule has oxygen in it. All right, so this is how, whenever there is a chemical reaction taking place, whenever there is a change taking place, when there is a change in the chemical property, and the new item which is formed has altogether different set of properties, we say that chemical changes have taken place. Okay, oxygen and hydrogen are present in the air even right now, correct? But are they going and mixing with each other all the time? No, they are available as hydrogen also, they are available as oxygen also. And under certain circumstances, they are also available as H2O. Okay, so they exhibit their individual chemical properties also, but at the same time, when they react with another element, they form a new element. They undergo a chemical change to form a new compound. Anything which is formed by a chemical reaction, we call it a compound. Okay, so all the compounds, whenever they are formed, the elements which come together to form the compound undergo chemical changes. Is that understood? Let's see these examples. Okay, as we said, iron rusts when it gets exposed to moisture. Okay, so basically moisture means what? It reacts with the oxygen which is there in the moisture, which is there in the air. Okay, and it forms oxide of iron, which is what we know as rust. Okay, so chemically, if you observe, the color of the rust is different. It is not metallic and shiny as the original iron metal. So the properties of iron changed after it got rusted. Okay, same way, burning of wood. Now rusting, burning, combustion, all of these are chemical changes, because in doing all of this, all these elements are undergoing some reaction with oxygen. Okay? whenever we say burning of wood or burning of paper, that is not just burning, but it is a reaction with oxygen. Okay. Then the digestion process that we have. Digestion is also a type of chemical change, because the property of the food that you have eaten is completely getting altered in the process of digestion. So digestion is a chemical change. Cooking, whenever you cook something, when you supply heat to it, you are altering the chemical properties. Okay. And these changes are also always irreversible. That means if you have burnt a piece of paper, you can never go back and get the same paper again. It's not possible. If you have baked a cake, can you go back and separate out the ingredients once again?
No,
You
ma'am.
cannot. So all of these, cooking, burning, digestion, rusting, all of these are chemical changes. Okay? Is that clear to everyone? Physical and chemical changes?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we will start the activity. So today we'll be doing 3 activities. The first activity is with paper. The second activity, we will be creating different scenarios to induce rusting into the iron nail. And the third experiment is a demonstration which Nicola ma'am will be showing you all. So for the first experiment, Nicola ma'am, are you ready with the...
Yeah.
Okay. So children, just observe what ma'am is doing and you can follow the steps.
Okay. So this is a piece of paper. All right. You cut the paper into pieces. Okay. So what kind of a change is this?
Physical change.
It is a physical change.
It's a physical change because there is why is it called a physical change? Why it is
Because
not
Because
called a
chemical
chemical change?
composition has not been changed.
Yeah, because the chemical composition has been changed.
because
Because
only the paper element is present in it. Only there are some the paper is being small in size.
yeah. So only I change the size of the paper, but the composition of the paper does not change even if I cut it. Okay. So this is called a physical change. Means cutting of paper is a physical change. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll show you. You all have to all perform this activity. You all are having 3 containers. All of you all put your videos on. Are you all having 3 containers?
Yes, Miss, I have one container. Should I get more?
Yes, you all need 3 containers. Small ones will also do. Okay. So you all need 3 containers. You all need 3 iron nails. You all need water, boiled water, oil.
Boiling water, Ma'am, do you need boiling water?
Yes, you all need boiled water. So you all need, again, I'm repeating what are the things that you all need. You all need 3 containers. You all need water. You all need boiled water separately, okay? And you all need oil and 3 iron nails. You all also need clay.
Ma'am, I don't have clay.
Okay, do you see what you can do? Who is that who just said that?
Put the water in each of the
Amit?
containers.
Ma'am, even I don't have clay.
See, you all can also do it with dough, okay? Atta, when you all mix it and you all make a dough out of it, you all have to just, acha, you all must be having lids to your containers, right?
Yes,
You'll
ma'am.
have lid to the container, then there is no need of clay. If you all are having a lid to the containers, there is no need for the clay.
Ma'am, I'll turn on my video in just a few minutes.
Okay. See, get ready with the supplies and we are going to do the experiment together and you all are going to observe the results not instantly, okay? It will take some time. You'll need to observe it after that, after the change happens. Here, do you have any other container which is smaller?
Ma'am, I just come in a second.
Yeah. Any small containers, if you all have, then you all can use that, okay? Instead of very big containers. Yes, Sonal. See, Sonal, do you have a narrow container? Narrow one and a smaller one? Like a bottle or something? Small bottle or something do you have?
I'll check 1 minute.
For this, you all just need very narrow and very like small containers, okay? Because you'll have to keep the 3 iron nails in it for maybe one day, one or 1.5 day. So if you all have any containers which are smaller in size, that will solve your purpose. Okay, is everyone ready? Shall we start?
Ma'am.
Ma'am, can we start?
Yeah. So, is everyone ready? Everyone is ready with the supplies, right?
Ma'am, I didn't find any more narrow container. I didn't have any.
Okay, then you do it in that. Okay, doesn't matter. See, in the first container, you are going to add normal water. Okay, add normal water in the first container. And you will put the iron nail in the container. And you'll have to cover it with the lid. So I'm like covering it with help of clay, okay? So that there is nothing going into it. Okay, like this. Did you all do the first step? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. I put
In
one in
the
the hot water and the cold water.
No, in the first container, you are only going to put normal water. You are going to keep the nail inside and cover it with the lid. Did everyone do that? Yes. Harshini, cover it with the lid. Yeah. So all of you all are done with the first step, right? Keep that container aside. Now in the second container, take boiling water. Take boiled water. Okay. Put the boiled water in the second container. Then put oil on the surface of the water. Cover the surface with oil. So this is oil. I'm putting oil. Okay. You'll have to cover the surface of the water with oil.
So the first container you will just put water and you'll put nail into it. In the second container you will add boiled water and put the nail into it and then cover the top layer of water with oil. Why do we do that? Can you think why do we do that?
Ma'am, so that oxygen or any gas doesn't go into it?
Correct. Okay. So oil forms a layer on top of water. Okay.
Okay, so like this you'll have to do it. Can you all see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And again cover it with the lid. Set that container aside. So y'all can only do it with these two. Y'all can do it with these two containers. Okay, means y'all don't need the third container then, because y'all are not having calcium chloride. Okay, so y'all can do it with two containers. So in the third container, see what I'll be doing. In the third container, I'll be adding calcium chloride. Okay, this is calcium chloride. I'll be adding calcium chloride. Now, calcium chloride has a property to absorb water. Okay? It has the property to absorb the water. Any kind of moisture which is there will be absorbed by the calcium chloride.
So can you think of any other moisture absorber? Can you all think of any other moisture absorber? Like ma'am is using calcium chloride. Anything that you all can think of?
Rice?
So then I'm putting the iron nail inside.
You can use rice or you all know those silica packets which we get whenever we buy a new bottle or a tiffin box. Small silica pouches, they are there in shoes also. So you can use them if you have. So if you have a silica packet, open it, put it in one container and put the iron nail. Instead of calcium chloride, you can use silica.
Miss, I don't have silicon.
Those who have can try it out. Okay. Or next time, whenever you buy something new, you remember to, keep that silica packet aside so you can use it for the experiment.
Okay, so this is the way you'll have to keep it and then observe the changes after a few days. Okay, you'll have to see where rust is formed. In which of the containers rust has formed.
What do you think will happen to the first container where you put water and the iron nail? What is your kind of assumption? What do you think?
But very, very, very slowly.
It will rust slowly. What about the second container where you are putting oil?
Ma'am, it will not rust.
It will not rust at all?
It might.
No, ma'am, it won't rust.
It can rust a little bit, but
okay.
Yes.
Okay, and what about the third one where you're adding a moisture absorber?
Ma'am, it will not rust at all.
Not be. It will not at all, ma'am.
It
Yes,
will not
ma'am.
rust at all. Then why in the first case where we are adding only iron nail and water, why the rusting will be slow in that case?
Ma'am, because ma'am, we're just adding water.
So what else do you need?
Ma'am, and
When your iron,
ma'am,
Ma'am,
and oxygen
an
can be
oxidizer.
Ma'am, we need oxygen.
we need oxygen, but because we are covering it up with a lid, we are cutting the supply of oxygen. Okay, so whatever oxygen is there in the container, only that is going to be used. But in the second case, even the oxygen which is there in the container cannot be used because we are covering it up with a layer of oil. Okay, and in the third container, let's observe it. Ma'am will send us what happens to all the three nails. Okay, so leave all these containers undisturbed for a few days.
Okay.
Yeah, they're okay. So just cut open one of those packets, Harshini, put them in a container and put the iron nail in the container and close the lid. Yeah. Okay. So this was the second activity. Now, all of this, what we are trying to see is we are trying to see and observe the rusting of iron nail. But we are creating different scenarios to see the rate of rusting. And second, to observe, how much of rusting has taken place and in what time the rusting has taken place. Okay, so all these are a physical change or a chemical change. Yes, yes, here.
Ma'am, is this kind of pouch okay?
Yes, that is okay. Okay, all right. So now the third experiment is another chemical change, which is burning of, ma'am, which element are we burning?
Magnesium.
Okay, we are burning magnesium. Okay, so let's observe what happens.
Okay. Just give me a second. So this is the magnesium strip, okay? We'll be burning magnesium. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll be burning the magnesium and collecting the ash, okay? Okay, I think I can see it. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, is there any alternative for magnesium?
Hmm. You can burn anything like a paper or a piece of cracker, anything. We are
Okay, ma'am.
basically seeing that burning is an oxidation and it is a chemical change. That's what we are trying to tell you. Nicola ma'am, if it's not burning, try cutting the tip off and then, burning it again.
Okay.
Or you can try burning it from the other side also. Even that is okay.
I think the flame of the candle is very low.
Okay, so we will keep observing Nicola ma'am's experiment. And in the meanwhile, I am asking you all a few questions. Okay, so I want you all to answer these questions. Now these questions are based on different types of changes. Okay, they can be physical, chemical, they can be reversible, irreversible, they can be
Okay.
periodic, non-periodic, or
See, all of you are observed. All right.
they can be
It just
desirable,
started.
undesirable.
Can you all observe?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is happening? We are burning something. Okay. By burning, what are we doing? What is the other name for burning?
Ma'am, combustion.
Oxidation. Yes, the other name for burning is oxidation. So what do you think will be formed when you burn magnesium?
Ma'am, white powdery ash kind of thing.
Ma'am, magnesium
Yeah.
oxide.
Yeah, so that
Magnesium
powdery ash is called magnesium oxide. So whenever you burn something, oxide is formed. Some kind of oxide is formed. Okay, so this is a chemical change. So out of the three activities that we did today, the first one was very simple, cutting of paper. Okay, that was a physical change. Now the second one that we did is rusting of iron. Rusting of iron nail, because it is undergoing, there's a new compound which is being formed in the process of rusting. It is a chemical change. The third that we did was the burning process, that is oxidation. When we are burning something, a chemical change is taking place. Okay, so these are the three activities for today. I will start with the questions now. Okay, now the first question is, depending upon the type of changes, you have to find the odd one out. Okay, depending upon the type of change, you have to find the odd one out. The
Ma'am, should
first
I
is,
write it?
no, you don't need to write it, you just answer. Okay, so depending upon the type of change, you have to find the odd one out. The first is germination of seed. Second is plant getting converted into manure. third is burning of paper, and fourth is tooth decay.
Ma'am, burning of paper.
Ma'am, burning of paper.
Burning of paper.
Why? Why?
Ma'am,
Why?
because
Ma'am,
it's the fast
Ma'am,
else
because everything
Ma'am,
else is related to living, like the plant growing. It's like
ma'am, I can tell.
ma'am, everything else is
Ma'am, everything else is a slow change, and this is a fast change.
change.
Correct. Everything else is a slow change, and this is a fast change. Okay. But are all of them chemical changes?
No, ma'am.
no, ma'am.
Ma'am,
They're not
germination is not a chemical change.
Ma'am, tooth decay is a chemical change.
Yeah, tooth decay is a chemical change. Okay. Okay. Now the next question. All right. Now stretching of a rubber band is what kind of change? Is it reversible, irreversible, periodic, or chemical?
Ma'am, it is physical.
It is a reversible change. Okay. Okay. Now
Ma'am, it can be physical.
it is physical and it is reversible. Okay. Whenever it is reversible, it is physical only. Right. Now mist. You all know what is mist formation?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what kind of change is mist formation? Formation of mist is what kind of change?
A physical change.
Explain. Whatever answer you give me, explain it. Why do you think it's chemical? Why do you think it's physical? Come on, Harshini, Sonal.
Ma'am, what was it for?
Mist formation is what type of change?
Ma'am, it is a physical change because there's no, ma'am, there's no, what do you call it?
Change
The
in composition.
change in composition, yes, ma'am, of chemical
Change in-
composition.
Okay, okay. All right. Now, the next question is, out of the following, which is not a chemical change? Okay. Rusting of iron nail, digestion of protein, turning of milk into curd, and magnetization of iron.
Magnetization of iron.
Fire.
Why magnetization is not a chemical change?
Ma'am, because you're just adding, like you're just magnetizing it. You're not literally changing the whole thing.
Ma'am,
You're
there
not
is
like
no.
adding. You're not changing the components of. You're not changing components of the nail.
Okay, all right. Now, ripening of mango or ripening of any fruit for that matter is what kind of a change?
Ma'am, it
Chemical.
flow change or a chemical change.
Ma'am, it's a physical change.
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
it
because
can be flow change.
the taste is not getting changed and stuff.
No, ripening of anything. Say, for example, you have a tomato, and tomato is getting rotten. So, is that a physical change or a chemical change here?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
chemical.
it's a chemical change.
Because it is in the process of decomposition. Okay.
Yes.
So, ripening is also a similar type. Okay. The way raw fruits become ripe, in the same process, the ripe fruits also rot. Okay. So, it is a chemical change. All right. Okay, now out of the following, tell me which is not a periodic change. Okay, a high tide and a low tide.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
one question.
Yes.
Is there oxygen in steam?
See, steam is water vapor. It is H2O. And steam is also a part of, it is a component of air. Now air has steam, air has oxygen, air has all the gases. Okay, but if you want to know the composition of steam, it is H2O. There's no change in that. Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now my question was, which of the following is not a periodic change? High tide and low tide, oscillation of a pendulum, fluttering of the wings of a butterfly, and movement of the hands in a clock. Which is not a periodic change?
Ma'am, oscillation of a pendulum.
Fluttering of a butterfly.
Fluttering of a butterfly. Okay.
Ma'am, what do you mean by
Ma'am, oscillation of pendulum.
Oscillation of a pendulum happens, no, at regular intervals. Right? Pendulum
Ma'am.
oscillates as per the given time. Yes, here.
Ma'am, what do you mean by high tide and low tide?
See, tides happen when there is a full moon or a new moon. Okay, and they happen due to the little bit of, I think, due to the gravitational pull of the pull between the earth and the moon. So the waves, tides are nothing but waves which are far higher in, in size. They are far bigger in size. Okay, so if you visit, yeah.
Ma'am, is it fluttering of a butterfly?
Yes, it is fluttering of a butterfly because it is not periodic. It can happen anytime. I mean, butterfly is the only one who knows when it has to flutter. Okay. Now tell me, what different types of changes are involved when the plant is preparing its food? When the plant is carrying out photosynthesis, what different types of changes is it undergoing?
Ma'am,
Conversion.
converting H2O into separating H2O into oxygen and hydrogen molecules.
Is photosynthesis separating hydrogen and oxygen?
Ma'am, in the process, to take hydrogen separates hydrogen and
Is water the only component which is involved in the process of photosynthesis?
No,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
when sunlight is used,
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide is also there.
dioxide.
Yes, yes. So is that a separation? I'm asking, what is the type of change which is taking place in the process of photosynthesis?
Chemical change.
It's a chemical change.
Because sunlight is turned into energy.
Okay. All right. Now, fermentation of batter and a tooth decay, are they a similar kind of change?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
They both are chemical changes, yes, but are they exactly identical? So they both are chemical changes, but in one case the chemical change is desirable, and the second case this chemical change is undesirable. Okay, so chemical changes can be good and bad in they can be of two types. All right. Okay. Okay. Whenever there is a formation of compost from your biodegradable matter, what kind of changes does the matter undergo?
Ma'am,
Chemical changes.
And other, what are the other types of changes? Chemical, yes. Then
Ma'am,
desirable, and
slow change.
it's a slow change, and it is an irreversible change.
Yes, ma'am.
Irreversible change. Okay. One last question. when we burn sugar, what kind of change are we carrying out?
Irreversible chemical change.
Chemical.
Irreversible and chemical change. All right. So that brings us to the end of the session today. Okay. Next week, we'll be carrying out some more activities regarding the physical and chemical changes. Do you all have any doubts regarding today's topic?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, all right. So I'll see
Ma'am?
you all in the next class. Yes, Sonal?
Ma'am,
Yes,
ma'am,
Sonal?
how do you separate the components of water?
They see the separation will not happen in normal conditions. They happen at a certain pressure and temperature. So they need to undergo a proper treatment in which you separate the hydrogen and oxygen molecules. So basically, it happens in the process of hydrolysis also. When we do hydrolysis, we use electrodes and we separate out the gases. So we'll be dealing with that process also, electrolysis and hydrolysis. Okay, we'll be teaching you that how to do it. All right.
ma'am.
So I'll see you all in the next class. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a
Bye
nice
bye.
day.
You too. Bye bye. Bye bye.